So we're inching closer to the edge of World War, and let me show you exactly how that's going to look.
Анечка, умничка, не стесняйся,
So she's
говори.
saying, yeah, my little
Мы с тобой,
genius,
мы рядом.
you know.
Спасибо дяде Юрий за то, что
Thank
он
you,
меня,
Uncle
мою
Yuri,
сестру и
for
сотни тысяч
saving me
детей
from
спас
Mariupol, she's
с
saying.
Мариуполя.
Right. So basically, Mariupol is a city, the eastern part of Ukraine is completely destroyed. The people have lost their lives, but the propaganda from this degenerate right here, right, and their rally in Russia for the 1-year war, which was supposed to be a special military operation, but the people still believe the lie. So Russia invaded and destroyed, hundreds and thousands of lives lost, millions of people displaced, so on and so forth, and then they're doing the propaganda in a big stadium where the bombs didn't drop, and using this girl, and she's like, oh, thank you for saving me and thousands of other girls from this city which they themselves destroyed. So the hypocrisy is upside down, okay? It's like I take my fingernails, I push them into your eye sockets, and then I say I cured the blind. You know what I'm saying? That's the hypocrisy. What it is, oh, you couldn't see, but I helped you see. Meanwhile, I did something as egregious. And what does that amount to? It might be, guys, I mean, it really might be time to clean house on planet Earth from a little bit of excess humanity. Okay, that's really the reality of it, because I don't really know how this situation could be helped when people could get duped on such a level. The people of this world are hypocrites. They lie to other people. They lie to themselves. They entertain delusions in their minds, right, of grandeur, you know, Putin and these peasants. They think their life has a destiny, and this is this, and I'm that, and this and that. But when you look at the cold hard facts that are on the table, the reality looks like something like that on the top. While the delusion looks like this. She's the girl, she's giving the speech, and the crowd, and they're like, yeah, and this, and the hero from the war, and the this, and that, and this. And meanwhile, somebody who just wanted to make a little tea kettle over there, or some grandma, or some shit that's been struggling their whole lives are destroyed, and nobody hears about them. You know, we're in the Diamond District. This hasn't been bombed, so you don't feel it. You know, or you're somewhere else, right? That somebody lost their home in East Palestine where the train derailed, and they're in chemicals or so on and so forth. They have that problem, but someone else, they don't feel it. Joe Biden, he abandoned them. He went straight to Ukraine to go with Zelensky. So you don't know where to turn. Zelensky and the West and the way they played the war, pathetic. They essentially lured Russia into the conflict and then started grinding away at the human beings. And now Russia cannot turn back. There is no turning back from Putin. Okay, so he's really just trying to take the Donbass region and so on and so forth. His troops are exhausted. They have no equipment. They're not going to be able to even take that little scrap of land in the Ukraine. The West isn't allowed. Now China's going to be going in, maybe supplying them weapons. Loss of more life. Once you lose that much life, once you've lost your brothers, your sisters, and this and that in the war, what are you going to do then? Are you going to back down, or are you going to go all the way? Russia also, Vladimir Putin just went out of the nuclear treaty. Okay? So a wicked generation that does not know war, right? When I was growing up, when I was a kid in the 90s, the generation that was in power and was the World War II generation. They were old, they were like whatever it was, but they still had the influence of the world. Now you have their children from the Summer of Love in the 60s, you know, Nancy Pelosi's and this and that, when they were growing up in the 60s, Hillary Clinton with their bullshit, and the Vietnam and the this and the that. And now they're in charge of the world, and they are wicked to the core, and they are setting us up for a catastrophe. Hypocrites, delusional, say one thing, do another, can't face the realities of the world, and don't have the heart to feel the misery that's out there in the world. They just mask it over with lies. And that might lead to serious stuff. I hope it doesn't, But it might be time for the missiles to start flying and for us to know the face of death once again.